Okay, we are starting a new month, the month of October. Can you believe it? And our theme this month is courage. And we are Courage to Caregivers. So we had to wait all the way to October to get to courage. No, it's part of our theme all the way through. This is all about courage, this journey. And this week will be, as we look at courage through a more specific lens, we'll also be talking about, so this week is learning from our mistakes. And to err is human, right? It's just a natural part of life. So why do we beat ourselves up over our mistakes? Mistakes can offer us a tremendous amount of learning opportunities. And if we work hard to never make mistakes, I always think like, well, if you're not making mistakes, there's a possibility that you're not growing, that we're keeping ourselves so safe and so small and so confined that perhaps we're not branching out enough. So mistakes are just a natural part of life. They're opportunities for learning and for growth. And the problem comes when we make the same mistake over and over. That then, like, we could ask ourselves, what's the lesson we're missing? But we learn from our experiences, and sometimes we even have to kind of reframe our experience, some of our mistakes, as simply the outcome of an experience, neither good nor bad. It's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad, it's just something that happened. And it's just an outcome. So, and that requires just a little bit of self-compassion, another theme that we talk a lot about here in Courage to Caregivers. So let's start with our breathing practice this evening and see where our practice takes us in this theme of courage and learning from our mistakes. Okay, so let's find a comfortable seat so that your spine is nice and lifted, and you find a posture that feels comfortable and yet has a quality of dignity to it. So usually that means like a lift in the spine, a broadness in the shoulders, and just start to tune into the breath, just becoming aware of your breathing as you breathe in and breathe out. So no rushing here. We breathe all day long. But it's when we become aware of our breath that it becomes transformative of our experience. The awareness of the breath brings us into the right here, right now moment. As you breathe in, feeling where you experience the breath in the body expanding. As you breathe out, feeling the belly draw in. And noticing where you feel contraction in the body as you exhale. And just continuing a few more times, that breathing in, breathing out, fully aware of your experience. And you might start to notice a count. You might find a count with your in-breath. So breathing in, maybe around a 3 or 4 or 5 count, and then feeling a pause. And then breathing out, finding your own natural count, 3 or 4 or 5. And then feeling the pause at the end of the out breath. And then start to let your in-breath expand to a 5 count. And then pausing for 3. Exhaling for 5. Pausing for 3. Inhaling for 5. Pausing for 3. Exhaling pausing, inhaling, pausing, exhaling, pausing, and continue 3 more breath cycles, just like that, your own pace. Very good. Now allowing yourself to just come back to a natural rhythm to the breath. And then to cultivate a little compassion, because this is kind of what it takes for ourselves, is just start to bring your awareness to your heart center, that area around the heart, and inviting in an experience of gratitude, appreciation, joy, and feeling that. So you might think of something you're grateful for, or you might just feel into the quality of gratitude. And so when you feel that energy around the heart space, just if you don't, that's okay. No judgment here. And you can't do it wrong. So don't make it a mistake, right? Don't make it feel like you're making a mistake. It's not. You just feel it. And if you don't feel it, imagine it. So imagine this quality of an energy around the heart space. And then we're going to use the power of imagination to draw into the heart space with the in-breath and let the breath flow from the heart space with the out-breath. So breathing in, heart-focused breathing here. This is borrowed from the Institute of Heart Math. Breathing into that heart space, breathing out from that heart space. You could hold that feeling of gratitude if that's supportive for you. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So that heart-focused breathing, breathing into the heart space, breathing out from the heart space. And letting that be your focus. And that heart-focused breathing is really supportive when we think about having the courage to forgive ourselves, to reframe our mistakes, or learn from our mistakes. It helps to have that compassion. So we bring in that heart-focused breathing as a way to invite that quality of appreciation for ourselves, for our efforts, for the journey. Things are hard and we're learning as we go. So in that heart-focused breathing, just appreciating ourselves and holding ourselves with compassion. And then once again, we'll let go of any technique to just pause and notice and witness. And just notice any subtle shifts that have happened just in the little bit of practice that we've done so far. And the next practice we're going to do for breathing is called victory breath. And this is kind of a fun one. We're going to bring our arms out into a big V. So I'm going to move back. So you're going to make your hands into a little fist. Thumbs are going to reach out, thumbs up, make your arms like a big V. So not hanging out arms. We want those victory arms, real strong arms here. Reaching out, lift into a big V, fingers curl and thumbs are up, like you're giving yourself a big thumbs up. And we're going to breathe in and out rapidly through the belly. So this is like a breath of fire, but go at a pace that feels right for you. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose. And let's start with before we do the arms, let's start with the breath. So it's an active out breath through the nose. So like this. You're just snapping the navel toward the spine. The upper part of the lung stays relatively still, calm, and quiet, okay? So it's an active out breath. And it'll be a passive in breath. It'll just, it creates a vacuum that brings the in breath back in. So if you bring your hands to your belly, you'll notice, so if you're breathing through the chest, you'll notice it'll start to get uncomfortable. You'll start to feel lightheaded. You might start to feel lightheaded. There's a lot more movement up here. We don't want that. We want belly breathing here. So it's again, active out breath, navel snaps toward the spine, and it's a passive in breath. And then you repeat it. So you go at a pace that feels right for you. So okay, this is a nice cleansing breath. It's an energizing breath, and it helps clear the head, clear the mind. So when you're ready, let's send the arms up. Nice strong arms, giving yourself a big thumbs up. We're going to do breath of fire here for a whole minute. Ready, set, go. You're halfway there, keep going. Arms want to come down, send them back up. You're strong, you can do it. Just about 15 seconds left, keep going. Okay, deep breath in, bring the arms overhead, thumbs touch overhead. Deep breath in, hold that breath in, draw your pelvic floor muscles up, draw your chin toward your chest, hold all that good breath in. And with the out breath, let everything go. Arms release down. Again, deep breath in. Send the arms overhead, thumbs touch overhead. Draw the pelvic floor muscles up, chin toward chest. Root lock, throat lock, we call this. And then when it's no longer comfortable to retain that breath, exhale, release everything down. Good, last time. In breath, reaching up. Thumbs together overhead, pelvic floor muscles drawing up. Chin blocks or constricting the throat muscles and holding that breath in, exhaling, releasing. Awesome. And then pause to just notice your energy, notice what that might have cleared out. I always feel a little clearer when that practice is through. So notice what you experience in your mind, in your body. And I'll share our affirmations or intentions for the evening. And you can choose, as always, to adopt one of these in your own heart or formulate your own, whatever feels right for you. So if it's supportive for you, you might bring one hand and then the other to the heart space, or palms together, and then just silently repeating to yourself this intention if it feels right for you. My life is a labor of love. There are no mistakes, only learning. It is safe for me to try something new. and to fail, because the truth is there's no failure, no mistakes, only outcomes. And the last one, connected to my heart, I have the courage to move forward. Connected to my heart, I have the courage to move forward. So decide if one of those feels right for you. And we'll do some simple stretches to get into our practice this evening. So coming to the front edge of your chair. And we'll do a little seated cat and cow. So feet flat on the floor, bringing the hands to the knees or to your chair. And just finding that nice lift in the spine, bringing your awareness to your feet. You might even lift the heels and then lower the heels and lift the toes. And just feeling your feet on the floor. And then as your feet settle to the floor, and again, finding that nice lift in the spine, find a little back bend. So drawing the heart forward, drawing the shoulders back. And so that would be like a seated cow pose. And then drawing the navel toward the spine, letting the back round, chin toward chest. Finding just a nice range of motion in a rhythm, in a way that feels right for you. And just noticing sensations in your spine. You might notice the way you move back off the sitting bones as you round onto the sitting bones, just noticing that rotation in the pelvis as you move forward and back. You might notice sensations in your neck or your shoulders. Synchronizing this movement with the breath, finding the natural in-breath as you arch the back and lift the gaze. And finding the natural out-breath as you draw navel towards spine. Finding your natural rhythm as you move through this. And then returning to neutral and pausing there. Good, let's send the arms out here and reaching the arms up. Just noticing where you feel sensations as you reach up. Good. Reaching one arm a little higher and then the other arm a little higher. Good. Reaching and lowering. Reaching, lowering. And then this time as you reach that left arm up, reach it over to the right side. You might bring that right hand down to support you. You might bring that right hand to lengthen out that left arm. Good. Lengthening as you come back to center. And then over to the opposite side. Again, so if you like that option where you draw on the wrist to lengthen that whole right side, or you might like the option to use that hand to support you. Your choice, your body, no mistakes here. If we make a mistake, we just learn from it, right? If I do it this way and it doesn't feel right, I might try it this way. Come back to center, just outcomes. Good. And then releasing the arms down. And let's roll the shoulders out here, drawing the shoulders forward and then up and back and down. And just noticing in your body how just this little movement feels. And then let's explore just taking one shoulder, circling just one shoulder. And is it helpful to circle forward and then back? Just noticing. And then that same arm that you've been circling the shoulder, let's circle the whole arm. Just let that arm get heavy and let it hang out, circle around. Let's circle in the opposite direction. Back to neutral. Pausing and then taking a moment to just notice the right side versus the left side. Now, if we stopped here, would that be a mistake? Would it be a mistake to only do the stretches on one side of the body? Well, it would be. Some might consider it a mistake, but it really would just be an outcome. The outcome here would be that one arm would feel more loose and stretched out. Whatever you notice in your body, there's probably a difference in sensations from one side to the other, as subtle as that may be. It's just an outcome. We could still go on with our day. We wouldn't die, right? We would just go on with our day and feel different for a moment, and then we might forget about it. So let's circle just the other shoulder, because today we will. But you could always choose not to and continue to go on. No mistake. It would just be an outcome. So if you're willing, if you like, circle the shoulder. One direction and then the other. And then start to let the arm hang, find its own little movement, circling, range of motion. Feels kind of good, doesn't it? Good. And then let it go, pause to witness, to notice. Awesome. Let's take the arms into the air once again. Nice deep in breath. And with the out breath, twisting to the right. You might bring that right hand to the back of the chair. You might bring it to the seat behind you. But with that nice lift in the spine, taking the gaze back. So I often make suggestions, right, in yoga or our movement practice here. I'll say lift the spine, right? Or taking the gaze in a certain direction. Would it be a mistake if you didn't do it that way? And I would say no, because it's all a learning process. So yoga gives us all these movements, give us a microcosm of life oftentimes. There's like little morsels of information. And so if we overdid a twist or overdid something, would it be a mistake or would it be learning? It might be learning to teach us something about our body, where it does and doesn't like to go, right? How far is too far? Coming back to center when you're ready, we're going to inhale up and exhale as we twist in the opposite direction. But in whatever way feels right for you. And so I often say, whatever way feels right for you. Well, there are suggestions, because experience has taught us certain things, and we can learn from each other. I've certainly had my share of injuries I had to learn from doing this practice, and life in general, but it's taught me so much. Yeah, so mistakes can be a wonderful teacher, not pleasant, I realize sometimes. And so as I come back to neutral, let's just take another moment to just do another little seated cat and cow. Good in breath, arching the back, and out breath, navel towards spine. Okay. Good, and then let's find our way to standing. So, and then we'll do a little balancing. Okay. Oh, can you hear me? I think I'm, as I move away from the, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear? Great, thank you. Let me just shift that back. All right, so I'll speak up because I don't have my earbuds in. So, all right, so we'll come to mountain pose. And standing just nice and tall in your power, in your strength. This is a great, it's a posture of remembering. So as you stand in your power, feel your feet rooted onto the ground. You're as if you could grow roots from your feet. And feel that foundation of your history, all the learnings in your life, and the learnings of your ancestors, right? So they've made mistakes that they learned from too, that got passed on often to you. And we'll, as we stand on those roots and stand in our strength and in our power, feel the strength of your legs, the strength of your core. And if we use that tree metaphor again, that strength of your whole body is like the trunk of the tree, right? This sturdiness, this steadiness. And if you like, just taking the arms out and up. Good breathing here. That's often refers to as mountain pose. Today it feels a little bit more like a tree, right? This steadiness. And when we reach the arms up in that remembering of our strength, our steadiness, our history, our power, and our learnings. Standing in gratitude for all that we've learned. And then let's just bring the arms wide and then give yourself a little hug. Wrapping the arms around. And again, a little appreciation for yourself here. And then taking the fingertips toward the sky. So that'll give you a nice little shoulder stretch if you like. An alternative to that would just be to draw one hand across. So one elbow bent, bring the other arm underneath. Good. And so whatever arm you have underneath here, we're going to take that same leg and cross it over. And then start to bend the knees. You can do this seated if you prefer. Just cross, sitting down, just crossing the legs and crossing the arms. Maybe wrapping the toes all the way around. Maybe bowing in. So eagle. And eagle has wisdom, a message of wisdom for us. Because eagles have vision. And it encourages us to take the higher view of our learning, of our mistakes. The higher view. So uncrossing as you're ready. Sending the arms out nice and wide. And then bring the opposite arm under. Give yourself that hug of appreciation, of self-compassion. And then stepping the other foot over. So crossing that one standing foot now over. Maybe those toes will stay on the ground. Maybe you're using a chair to support you. Maybe you're drawing that arm underneath. Maybe you're seated. You're finding your own expression. Awesome. Hugging the midline. Any way you find this pose. Any way you discover this shape is just right. Breathing and then releasing. Releasing the arms down. Once again, sending the arms out and up. It's standing in your power and your strength and the appreciation of you. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Good. And then releasing the arms down. All right, so I'm going to share another little practice for when we find ourselves in a mistake that's really challenging to work through. So those kinds that we're beating ourselves up for. And there's something called tapping. So some of you might be familiar with it. There's certainly lots of information about it on the web, but we wanted to just touch in with this technique in our breathing meditation. So tapping is a way that can sort of take the intensity out of our mistakes through observing our thoughts and our emotions. We're going to dive in. I'm going to invite you to choose one specific. So you're muted. You can't, you won't hear, nobody will hear you. So it's just do your own practice. So, but you're going to choose one specific idea, something you feel like that's been troubling you. It could be a mistake you've made, but it might be something else. You can use this for so many different things. You can learn about this more on Emotional Freedom Technique. There's a tapping example from the Tapping Solution, or there's a Tapping Solution app. So we're going to practice long, smooth exhales. And then after we go through this practice, we will rest. Okay. So tapping is a process to help us move beyond our mistakes. And there's very specific movements that we do. And the first one is we tap on this karate chop point. So on the side of the hand, fingertips, and that karate chop point. And you say something like, even though I made X mistake, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And you do that on one side, and then you do it on the other side. Again, you can't make a mistake here. If you only did it on one side, it would still work. But there's acupressure points, meridians here that we're tapping. Okay, and so we just repeat our line here. Even though I made, and you'll choose, fill in the blank here, I deeply and completely accept myself, love and accept myself. Okay, and the next one is at the eyebrow. And so right at the inner edge of the eyebrow, you're going to tap there. I didn't desire this behavior, that I didn't, the opposite of mistake, the desired behavior that you want. I didn't do this the way I wanted to. And then side of the eye. So eyebrow and side of the eye. And you can do that with both hands or one at a time. Why? Why didn't I do that? I didn't do this. Why didn't I do this? Then under the eye. Am I sabotaging myself? Under the eye. You can use both hands at the same time. Under the eye now. So there's the points like cheekbones under the eye. And then above and below the mouth. So that's going to be tapping here. Maybe I just forgot. It's a little self-compassion coming in. Was I sabotaging myself? Maybe I just forgot. Now we're going to find the collarbone area. So right underneath the collarbones and tap here. Maybe I'm just not used to doing this. Having a little compassion. Maybe I'm just not used to doing this. And then we're going to find the underarm, like for women, it might be right where the bra line is, under the arm, tapping there. But I can start now. And tapping on the other side. But I can start now. And then top of the head. I'm aware now. I'm aware now of what I did. And I can choose differently. And then focusing on anything that came to mind. So if something comes to mind, you'll bring that into the tapping sequence. So I have a little bit of a sequence we can go through here. So eyebrow. I've made this terrible mistake and I'm really frustrated with myself. I'm really frustrated. And so you can just tap here. Oh, sorry, karate chop points here. Jumped ahead of myself here. Oh, I made this terrible mistake and I'm so frustrated with myself. And even though I made this mistake, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I didn't do that thing I said I was going to do. I don't know why I didn't do it. Maybe it was because I was mad. Side of the eye. Maybe I'm sabotaging that relationship or whatever negative thing you feel like you've done. And above and below the mouth. Or maybe I just forgot. Maybe something was triggering me. Above and below. And then the collarbones. Maybe I'm just not used to doing this. Maybe I'm learning from my mistakes. But I know better now. I'll do better different. I'll do it differently next time. I know now I can start now. I'm finding a more empowered sense of me. I'm aware, I'm empowered. I can choose differently. And anything else that came to mind, just continue tapping. Go through it in your own, with your own cues here. Anything else that came up? I wish I hadn't done that. But even though I did that, I completely love and accept myself. Even if you don't 100% believe it. We're telling our system, I completely love and accept myself. I didn't do it. But I can have compassion for myself for doing it. And not doing the thing I need to do. I'm moving into a new way of being. I'm aware. I'm working on it. I'm getting better every day. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm learning from my mistakes. It's getting easier. Okay, last time. So now affirming. It is easier. I can simply let go of it. I can see the good in it because of some of the learning that's happening. Others will benefit from my learning too. I feel better already. Keep breathing, long, slow, deep breaths. I feel better already. I feel stronger. I think I'll sleep well tonight. Whenever that feels complete, just pause. And then just find a comfortable position. We're just going to rest now and let the effects of your tapping experience just permeate. So if you want to be in a reclined position, feel free to lie down on the floor, on a couch, a recliner. or just be seated in a chair in a meditation. And if it's supportive for you, you might bring a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly, or two hands to your heart. And tuning into the breath. Now just letting the out breath become a little longer, a little steady as we settle in to rest. Long, slow in breath. Long, slow out breath. Letting yourself really melt into the surface that you're on with each out breath. And using your awareness, scanning through the body, discovering any place that's holding any amount of tension. And inviting that tension to soften and relax. Let go with the out breath. And as the physical body softens and relaxes and finds a quality of ease, let the inner body grow a little brighter. Maybe a little more grateful. Or a little more compassionate. And if it's helpful, you might even turn up the corners of the lips. And ever so slight a smile as to let your body know all is well. All is well. All is well. Now, taking your time, begin to bring your awareness back, deepening the breath. Notice where you're bringing your awareness back from. And bringing some gentle movement into the body, wiggling fingers, toes. And when you're ready, finding your way back to seated, and as you're ready, again, opening the eyes. And as you check in with yourself in this moment, just noticing if there's one word that would describe how you feel in this moment, what would that one word be? One word to describe what you're feeling right now as a result of our practice. And so not yet sharing it if you're on Zoom, but you can certainly type it in the chat if you'd like. And so I just wanted to close with this quote, which was when we started putting together the curriculum for this breathing meditation and mistakes, I couldn't help but I had in my head the sound of Miss Frizzle. Does anybody remember Magic School Bus? And Miss Frizzle would say, take chances, make mistakes, get messy. So if there was ever anybody who just totally embraced the idea of making mistakes, it's Miss Frizzle. So just like kind of channeling that Miss Frizzle when we attempt to do things that are out of our comfort zone or different or new. Get messy, make mistakes. So, so thank you for being with us this evening, and blessings.